Hello everyone, this is Gian and I'm back for another video. This video is for YouTube, so I'm going to upload it in English, okay? This video is a walkthrough on how to replace the bearings on your front hub. What you need is a bearing puller and a circlip remover, okay? And let's start. First step is remove the circlip. Okay, so the bearing puller has different sizes, so choose the appropriate size so that it can fit into the bearing, like that. And then this spindle will go through and then tighten it so that the puller will expand inside. Since the puller has been expanded, it will not go through the bearing. And then fix the metal cylinder on top of the hub. After that, you fix the washer and then tighten the bolt. Make sure that the cylinder is on the center. After it is tightened, go and get a wrench so that you can easily tighten this. It should be clockwise. So I'm trying to fix it first. Okay, and then you need to hold it down and then turn it clockwise until the screw is locked. And then after this, you get a Allen wrench. You need to use an Allen wrench or any tubing material so that you can use it as a handle to rotate the spindle. Just continue rotating counterclockwise on that spindle so that the bearing will pop out. As you can see, I'm still rotating here and the bearing just popped out like that. Okay, so after removing the larger bearing, we're going to continue removing the needle bearing on the opposite side of the hub. As you can see, the bearing here is still okay, but I already replaced it. On the opposite side of the hub, you can see the seal or the gasket and the needle bearing. Choose the correct size of the bearing removal tool. So the correct size should be the right size, like that. Okay, and then what you're going to do is choose the correct spindle so that it will expand again, and then we can pull this bearing out. You just need to do the same procedure earlier. As you can see, the puller is already tight and it will just pull the seal and the needle bearing out. But for me, there is another procedure. What you're going to do is find a deep socket that matches the bore of this hub, and then using a rubber mallet so that you can push the bearing on the other side. So this is a quicker way to remove the bearings and the seal of the hub. Okay, so what parts are you going to buy? As you can see here, this is the larger bearing. The size is 6202 2HRS, and this is the needle bearing. The size is HK 2016. That's 2016. And this one, it is very hard to find. This is the gasket of the bearing. Make sure to take care of it when you're removing it because you're going to reuse it again. Currently, we are trying to source it from Vietnam and Thailand. Hopefully, we could get some stock of this bearing gasket. After removing the bearing, we need to clean the hub. So you can get paper towel, microfiber cloth, and also you can use brake cleaner. And also you can use dishwashing liquid to clean the entire hub. On my case, I use WD-40 to remove all of the rust and remove the dirt inside because WD-40 is an oil that can easily dissolve those dirt inside and also remove some gunk and rust inside the hub. Once the hub internals are clean, so we're going to put the new bearings. As you can see, it's clean now. This time, we're going to install the new bearings that I bought online. These bearings are available on our local online shop. I bought an SKF Explorer. It has the same model, which I have removed earlier. It's the 6202 2HRS. And this is the NTN HK 2016, and it is made in Japan. What I have removed is made in Germany, the needle bearing, and the other one is made in Portugal. So we're going to test these bearings if it will last longer or maybe shorter. So no problem because it is available locally here in our country. And you know, it's really cheap here. It's only $3 per bearing. So that's really cheap. If you're going to import the original ones, it will cost you around $20 to $30. That is for each of the bearings, the needle bearing and then the 6202. And those bearings lasted around 15,000 kilometers before I changed it. And we're going to use the same method again. So we're going to hammer down the bearing. We're going to use a deep socket and hammer it down. For some other techniques, you can blowtorch the hub and then insert the bearing or put the bearing inside the fridge so it will be frozen. But this time, we're just going to put some grease on it and then hammer it down. Okay, so I can find the wooden piece that I can use. We're just going to use the microfiber and put the hub in the tiles and put some high temperature grease on this bearing, and then we're going to hammer it down inside. Make sure that you choose the correct deep socket that matches the outer bearing, the outer body of the bearing, so that you won't damage the bearing when you're hammering it. Let's put the bearing in, and then we're going to use the deep socket so that we can hammer it down using the rubber mallet. Okay, so the bearing is in. You're going to put back the circlip, and then after this we're going to install the needle bearing. If the circlip won't push through, you can also use the deep socket. Okay, so let's put some high temperature grease first, and then we're going to also put grease on the needle bearing. As you can see, it's brand new needle bearing, and we're going to put some grease, the high temperature aluminum complex grease that we have tested earlier. So this time I'm using the red grease. Okay, once it is ready, we're just going to use the same deep socket again. But first, just make sure it's centered before you're going to hammer it. Push it in by the rubber mallet. And then after that, you're going to use the same size deep socket so that it will push until it reaches the bottom of the bearing seat. After installing the needle bearing, you need to put back the seal. on top of the needle bearing so that the water will not go in. Just do the same procedure, hammering it. Just tap it by hammer and make sure that it is in the center first before you hammer it. Okay, same size. And that's it. And after installing all the bearings, you can install the rotor disc. Make sure you put some thread lock so it will be safe. And I replaced the stock screw with the stainless screw with a bigger head so that it will hold better. Just put some small amount of thread lock so that the screw will stay in place, and then you just torque this afterwards around 20 to 25 foot-pounds. After installing the rotor discs, you can install the speed ring, and also I bought new stainless screws. I have replaced it. And now we have an extra hub here in the garage. I'm also waiting for the CNC hub to arrive for the 220mm rotors. Okay, so that's it. Thank you for watching and hope you learned something again on my vlogs. Make sure you subscribe on my YouTube channel. Your 100% Vespa content here located in the Philippines. Thank you for watching. Bye!